Hello again. As the second oral component of my application, I'd like to explain the rationale behind my press release. It has two main goals. Number one, sparking interest in the press to ensure timely, enthusiastic media coverage. Journalists receive hundreds of press releases each week, and it can be hard to snag their attention for another institutional event. That's why I chose to focus at the top on the real breaking news, that local artists are to be showcased at the museum, including with my choice of wording for the headline and subhead. I considered making up names for 3 or 4 local artists working in a variety of styles and mediums to make the press release, even more specific. But ultimately I decided that might be too out of the box for this exercise. However, had I been in a position to mention some of the local artists slated for display when the gallery opens, I would have done so, choosing both well-known and up-and-coming art stars to demonstrate the diverse nature of the exhibit. Main goal number 2, to present complete, specific information about the gallery and benefit dinner succinctly and in the most logical order, taking into consideration the interest factor of the general public and the who, what, where, when, why factor for media. As I said, in my view, the most important information the press release must get across is that talented local artists are being provided a great new outlet to showcase their work in the Ford Gallery. So details about the gallery are provided early on. Specific details about the benefit dinner come next, as the date of that event is rapidly approaching, and it's best to provide the press with a minimum of 3 weeks heads up to better ensure the coverage you'd like to receive in time for the public to respond and buy tickets. It's also very important to recognize the role played by the benefactor, Edgar P. Ford, fairly quickly in the press release. His idea motivated the board to act, and his generosity helped make the gallery a reality. He certainly merits sincerest thanks. Next, I introduced the other components of the benefit dinner in the order of their likely interest to art enthusiasts and others who will want to attend the event. I began with facts about Madeline May, her exhibit, and her personal appearance, as she is going to be a strong draw. I concluded with information about the silent auction. There's no need to mention the scheduling conflict with the Montgomery Ballet's annual Donors Gala, also to be held on January 9. It's an unfortunate coincidence, but one that can't be helped. It would be unseemly and unprofessional to infer that the museum event is superior to that of the ballet, and better to use a strong, positive marketing and advertising campaign to encourage attendance at the dinner, than risk creating hard feelings between the 2 cultural institutions and their supporters. Next year's benefit dinner can and should be scheduled to avoid any conflict with the ballet's fundraising efforts. As for the awkward situation with Carmela Stanford Houston, the daughter of another esteemed Montgomery artist, a press release is not the place to air any of that sensitive information. My thoughts are that, rather, museum officials should quickly hold a meeting with Stanford Houston to come up with some kind of separate accommodation to honor her late father, Marvin Stanford. Perhaps a retrospective of his works and influence on the Montgomery art scene could be scheduled for later in 2014. Or a lecture series on the history of artistic endeavor in Montgomery could be named in his honor, or some other suitable arrangement that's agreeable to Carmela Stanford Houston Maid. Overall, my strategy was to present information to interest the press and public in the new gallery and benefit dinner in a dynamic, concise, yet thorough way, with the goal of increasing participation in this and other museum-sponsored events. Thank you for taking your time to consider my application.